So on my journey to Sedona, Arizona, we went to the Vortex. There's different vortexes, by the way, so you'll have to just research which one that you feel like you need to go to, and which you could enter Bell Rock and Cathedral and all these places, and it'll tell you what kind of energy that these are pumping out and what would best benefit you. I would recommend seeing all of these places. On my trip, I was only able to visit 2 vortexes, but I'm going to go back. When I was on the mountain near, sorry, I'm trying to watch the road. When I was on the mountain, I could literally, okay, I'm looking down, and when I'm looking down, I'm seeing tree lines, or like, you know, I'm seeing the landscape of the area, and I could literally home in on a particular spot and zoom in with my eyes, like, almost like I had mechanical eyes. And so I could zoom in on that location and I could see what was there. And it was really ironic because when you come off the mountain and I went to the location that I had homed in on with my eyes, I seen what I'd seen on the mountain. But with a typical, like my son or somebody else would not be able to see what I was seeing because it was too far away. And I guess what I'm trying to tell you is what I learned from here is the realms seem to collide. You're at the peak of all realms. You know, it made me think of when Jesus said go to Mount Zion. When he told his disciples to climb the mountain and gave them visions there, that's why. Because you're at a higher altitude. You're getting power, you know, extra power from these vortexes, and you're able to see. So, you know, my third eye is always open, and I was able to see a lot more than I could from studying from home. And what I seen was just beauty in the world and in life. And what I asked God was, this is the first time I really have done this directly in questioning, but I asked him for abundance and happiness. And I mean abundance, I'm not talking just a little bit. I'm talking, I'm ready to live comfortable. I'm ready to be somewhere where I have the beautifulness without the chaos, you know, without people following me and needing me for something. I'm honestly sick of working. I'm honestly sick of struggling. And yeah, I have manifested a lot lately through God, and I'm blessed for that, but I'm ready to go bigger. And that's where I'm at. And so I have so many visions through out of bodies that's told me to go to Arizona. They told me to write books. They told me to publish there. I've had experience with another life there, and I really feel like I'm wasting my time where I'm at. And so my question to him, to God, one of my questions was, I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready for abundance and blessings. Where do I go from here? What is it that you want from me? And my answer was scary. I heard him loud and clear, and when God speaks, you know, while I'm awake, his voice is very stern. And he's not scary, but I could see why he would seem scary. And, you know, he's like a stern father, but he's telling me, this is what he told me, like, I could have what I want. I could have anything I ask for, right? But I have to lose something to gain. And at first you would think, that's scary. Like, what do I got to lose? You know, it's not like that. It's not, he's not saying, you know, something bad's going to happen to you for you to get something out of it. What he's saying is, the life I live now is what I've chose to live. And if I'm asking for something different, then I have to realize I got to lose something to get it. And what he means is, I might lose my house. I might lose my job. I might lose my closeness with my kids. They're not okay with me traveling like I want to travel and doing what I want to do. And I'm sure that they would want to stay home with their dad. I mean, there are things, and that's what he means. Like, do you have faith in me? Are you prepared to lose something in order to gain? Because you know, I'm fighting myself. That's what it boils down to. I end up fighting myself with asking for something that I'm not ready to receive. And he's just saying, when you're ready. And that's an inner fight within myself. It's an inner fight because I am so ready. I am so ready, but I'm not willing to lose my mom who lives in Indiana. I'm not saying I would have to move out of state But I'm saying to do what I have to do is going to require a lot of attention on my work, and it's going to require a lot of attention to myself, you know. And it's hard to put attention to myself when I have 4 children, and I have 4, including myself, I have 4 adults in my house, 4 children, and 4 dogs. This was not planned. So my family was struggling, so I let them stay with me for a while, and that's it's been difficult. And it's not like it's not him or her or anyone in particular. It's the fact that I have to have my space, and I can't work in an environment that brings in a bunch of energy that's not of mine, and especially if it's negative energy or energy of a lower mindset. And I feel like that's all around me. A lot of my family are of lower mindset, and I'm trying to raise them, and there's nothing wrong with them. I love them. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just I have to have my space, and it's hard to do, and that's why these videos are getting few and far between. Is because I'm constantly having to find a moment to even talk. That's why I'm driving and doing it. Hold on, just a lot of the times people isn't really explaining what a vortex even is. They'll just tell you that they went there for the power of the vortex. They're not really explaining what a vortex is, so I'm going to do that for you guys. So we as souls and as beings are made of energy, and I know this because of astral traveling and things like that. And so sorry, I'm driving. When we're made of energy, right, so everything is electromagnetism, and we are electric. And you know, the earth has a magnetic pull, and that's all the creation of the universe. Anyhow, my point of that is that there are fault lines. You know, I'm sure you've heard of ley lines and things like that, for the fault lines for the earthquakes and stuff. Well, at certain intersections of these fault lines, you'll find an energy vortex, and a familiar one that you might have heard about is the Bermuda Triangle. And that is an energy vortex there, and it's got some unique and crazy stories in regards to that area. A body, like a person, carries chakras. You know, we have the chakra alignments. Well, the earth also has chakras, and so vortexes oftentimes can be, most of the time, centered near an area that would be considered a chakra of the earth. These energy vortexes give power, is what they do. So, with that being said, I do need to explain the soul. Okay, when you're in soul form, power comes in, and it's really necessary. Your soul has to have energy. Okay, the more positive being you are, the more you vibe this light energy. Negative beings still power. Okay, and they'll still it by say they try to get into a person. You know, there's negative beings all around us. Say something tries to steal my energy, and it happens by people in your daily life that's alive. Like, it could be your family or your spouse or your significant other, or it could just be a demon itself. You know, that's how demons work. And so they need this power, they thrive on it, and that gives them gain. And so these vortexes give you power. Okay, you don't have to steal it from anyone. It's already there naturally. And you'll have positive vortexes, you have negative vortexes, and what that means is, you know, it's either giving you, it's going on a downward energy pressure or an upward sucking pressure. So, you know, there's different kinds of vortexes, and you would go to them for different reasons. Like, for instance, if I am sad and angry or mad or have any negative emotions, I would not want to go to a positive vortex, because it would amplify. It's like, you know, you learn negatives and positives in math class in high school. That's universal. That's universal knowledge in math there, because if I'm negative and I go to a positive vortex, it amplifies the negative and it makes it more negative. So sometimes you got to really know what you're doing. So if I go to a negative vortex while I'm negative, then it cancels it out. and so then I would benefit from that. So like the CERN, the government has a CERN machine posted up underneath a portal, an energy vortex, and it's that particular area is forcing out an energy of a negative energy. So that's just, it's kind of complicated, but I noticed nobody really explains it, and I'm giving you the spiritual part of it now. When you're positive and you go to a positive vortex, you're going to amplify the positive in you. You're going to amplify that energy. You're going to get energy regardless. You know, when you go, you're going to get energy. My history with Arizona and my future with Arizona is long. I've had many visions, many astral projections, many even lucid dreaming, and I've drew the mountains and I've seen things there that I've not seen in real life, and that's what's called me to the mountain. So it was like the mountain was calling me, and it was scary at first, you know, even though I'm a very positive person, you know. I had to do a little bit of my research on the vortexes myself because I didn't understand why I was getting called to this area. Once I got there, I realized why I was being called to that area, and it was amazing. And when I say past, present, future lives, all time runs at the same time. It just matters what frequency you're on, your brainwave, your mindset. So today at work, my patient's son brought in a home video, and a lot of they weren't really remembering things that they were seeing on the video, right? Their childhood. And even though they're like, yeah, that's me, and I mean that's me, and that's so and so, I don't remember ever being there. A lot of us forget our memories, and sometimes we will remember once we're reminded. But that's a example of a frequency change. We are just changing as we grow, and with each move, we decide if we're going to stay at a certain low level frequency or if we're going to rise higher. And in my journey, I've rose so high that sometimes I'm wondering if I'm even compatible with this life, which apparently I am. But my knowledge and my wisdom are very advanced, and sometimes it's hard to even have a conversation with people. I find myself really yearning for something more than I'm getting as far as my surroundings, and that's why I've had to follow my visions and follow my soul in my travels, and it's definitely a soul call, and I'm glad I listened. So Sedonia's Vortex in Sedona, Arizona. The Vortex is something that, okay, you gain power regardless. It's just, okay, so you're getting energy. Pretend there's a light energy that you can't see, and a lot of people know about this in the government, you know, and they'll use it against us for their own gain and power. But pretend there's a vortex and you can't see the light from it that's emitting from it, but you can sit under it. You're not going to feel any crazy wind or anything, because it's in a soul form frequency. It's something that you can't see with your human eyes, only your soul eyes. So I guess what I'm saying is, if I go and I'm seeking positive energy and I gain whatever I get, it's like pretend it's like, I don't know, this is kind of extreme, but like an energy shot, you know? I can have an energy shot and I could use that energy towards something good, or I could have an energy shot and use that energy towards creating harm and chaos. So you'll see many different religions come to this area, and it doesn't really matter. It's like you'll see Christians and you'll see Buddhas and you'll see, it doesn't matter what you do or why you're there, because the energy can be used in many different directions, and each person's different. So my experience was, I went up there with my son, and the reason why I took my son is because I had a strong calling that he was to go with me, and he is gifted, and so I took him with me, and it was amazing. You know, at first I thought, wow, like, he's getting so much, and maybe this is for him, because yes, I was at peace, but I wasn't really homing in on a meditation by myself on the mountain at this point. And so my son just started crying, said that he felt so good, that kind of happy, joyful, I feel good cry, you know. and he loved it. And it was just, he was so connected with God. He just kept calling it God's mountain. And he was like, Mom, I feel like when you go to sleep and you wake up, that refreshing feeling, that exciting, refreshed feeling. That's what he told me. That's how he explained his feelings. He said, I don't understand, but I know we hiked that day. We were going, it was a long day. And he was like, I feel like I didn't do anything today. I don't feel tired. I feel so energized. I just feel good, like I just woke up. And from an 8-year-old, that's what he's trying to say is he wasn't tired at all. He felt rejuvenated, would be the word that he was looking for when he was explaining. And it was just amazing to watch that, because he prayed on the mountain and he told me what he prayed for. And it was just so sweet what his prayer was. But it almost chokes me up thinking about it, because it's just so powerful. And I guess what I'm saying is it's not just like you're walking into nature and you're just, you can connect with nature and feel at peace. But this is connecting with nature with the added flavor of energy being given to you. And it's just a rewarding, refreshing, amazing feeling. So after that, he hugged the rocks and he didn't want to come down. It was so sweet. But after that, my friend was with me and she took him for a walk, and I sat up there and did my meditation, and I was really connecting. And it's not something that I got right away, so it took a minute. I thought I would just walk up and boom. I did feel at peace, but it did take a minute. And for anybody that don't know how to meditate, it's just making sure you quiet your mind. Set up there with no thoughts, no worries about what's going on back home. Absolutely no thoughts. When you get one, you just shoot out. You need to quiet the mind to do meditation, and then you're able to hear, you're able to feel what's around you. And feeling is everything. When you could feel the nature and you could feel that the mountain you're sitting on is alive and vibrating underneath you, and the trees you're looking at on the mountain are actually they're twisted, and they're twisted because of the vortex that you're on, and you can feel the earth pulsating under you. That's amazing. And once you feel this and you connect and you realize everything's alive, the trees, the cactuses, the mountain itself, you're a part of all this because you're alive. And it's like you're interconnected, and it's an amazing feeling to feel this way. And you have no worries, you have no stress, you sit in peace. And the only thing I can relate that feeling to is heaven, because everybody in heaven, which I have experienced heaven, and everybody there, there is so much as one that they breathe with the trees, and the water sends this feeling like they absorb it, and it's like an inspiration feeling, like it's inspiring. It's like smelling lavender or smelling your favorite smell, and that feeling you get. Heaven's like this, just flying over the water and breathing in that air and watching the trees, all this stuff. You come alive with that. You are one with it. You realize that you're all interconnected there. Here on Earth, in this 3-dimensional space we're in, a lot of people isn't probably ever going to connect like that. And even if they're trained, you really have to want to, and you have to do some soul work to get to that point. And so it's hard for someone like me to coexist in a world like that, because there's so many people around me that's just not there. They can't coexist because they're so chaotic within themselves. And even just going to work, or just the stress of your daily routine can cause a lot of unsettling feelings within you. And so it would be nice to be at that peace all the time, but here on Earth it's very hard to create that balance within yourself, and it does take work every morning and every night and throughout the day to know that God has you. And that's why when the Bible says lean your faith, I lean all my faith to Jesus. And I think that it's because I think he words it like that in a way to make people understand that if you just have faith in him, you don't have any more worries, and you don't have any more baggage holding you down, because you could see what I could see if you could weed that out. And I'm not saying you'll astral travel, but I'm saying you'll be able to feel an interconnection within yourself of peace, and you can interconnect with the things around you and the beauty. And once you can do that, you are free. You're free from this slavery, 3D, crazy world we live in. And I'm not even going to get into the government, but I could guarantee y'all know how I feel about that. We are slaves. We're slaves. We're slaves to the government. We're slaves to the people in power. That power that they have is the same power I'm telling you that you have. They're not gifted. They just have the knowledge, and they hide it in secret societies. And I might not even sound Christian as I'm speaking this, because most Christians just read the Bible. Well, I can read the Bible in a way that, with my spiritual side of me, and I could see and read line for line everything that thing's saying. And it's not superficial like you guys would just read it with. It goes deep, I guess what I'm saying. And the first page of the Bible could be written, if you wanted to describe it to someone in detail, it could be written into a book itself. I mean, literally page after page. So it's trying to sum it down and pretty much keep people from going the hard way and just having faith. And that's just what you got to do. So on my journey, alright, so I'm going to clip in some videos of our experience and what Sedona was like. And I am going back. I was supposed to go back this weekend. I'm going to go back here within 3 weeks, I would assume, hopefully, if everything goes right. But I will have more information for you on my next visit, because I am going to be really homing in without anyone with me into some spiritual things there that I know that I can open up. And I guess I would say manifesting. I'm kind of manifesting, but I don't do anything in like an occultism way. I do everything with the permission of God and through Jesus Christ, the name of Jesus Christ. And a lot of people tell me that limits me, because you could just, manifest yourself. Well, no, I'm not. I'm the child, and I might be a part of God, but I'm no God. I'm not Him. And so I always ask permission. But this next visit, I'm going to be manifesting big things. And I guess coming home would be to determine what it is that I actually want. And that's pretty much what I got from God. It's like, okay, well, you tell me what you want, because you say one thing, but you do another, and that's something that I'm going to work on before I go back to that mountain. And then I'll start manifestation, and I will let you know what I'm manifesting, and you guys can watch my journey and see how long it takes for that manifestation to come true, to come to play. So thoughts are everything, and that is like so important. You have to realize that what you think you are, you will become. You will become that. Thoughts are everything. If you want to manifest something, you have to think it, but you also have to believe in it. You have to believe that that's where you're going. I am fortunate with the ability to see insights, and and a lot of people are. If you would just listen, you could hear it. But with that being said, I already have a little bit of a guideline. Like, I could see other lives and other opportunities, and I could see where I went wrong in other lifetimes, and I could see where in the future, on a more advanced frequency, I have went right. And even in a more advanced frequency, I have went wrong as well. So I can see that in advance. So I can step back from this location that we're in this time zone in 2020, and I can make changes. And it is dangerous to alter the past. I would call this the past, because I've already been to the future. But why else am I here? You're constantly changing. What my thoughts are now can change my past now. And that's deep. That goes so deep that most people aren't even comprehending nothing I'm saying. But, I can literally change my past in this life, okay? Well, let's just think about 2020, and, I was born in 1984, so I want to change my past. And you're like, how do you do that? Well, you forget about it. If you had a traumatic situation happen to you, you learn from it and you let it go from your mind. Okay? Because if you hold on to it, it's going with you in the future. And if you let go of it, this is where it stops. And this is where you could advance without having karma within you, or to be born again with scars from another life that you never let go of them, scars that you developed during your experiences. And the reason why is it's a bondage. It's your own. You are pretty much living in what you created. And at the end of when you die and go to Jesus and he judges you, he's going to say all this stuff. This is, you had the power all along, but you didn't trust. You didn't have faith. You didn't trust. You thought this was, in my opinion, this isn't, I guess what I was going to say before I stopped is you thought this was a real experience. And what I mean that is, it's like a dream. You're in the past, man. You're in the past. So you can change it. And you can change how you go about things. And that's a lot of the trickery with it all is the government's using the same knowledge to change things for their gain, which is causing the world and the earth to self-destruct. So this knowledge isn't a secret to a lot of people, but they use it against you. So I'm not one to use the knowledge in that way. I'm using the knowledge to teach people that they have their own power. And that you are not, you're not a victim. You're not, people don't die, okay? If you lost a loved one, if you're stricken with poverty, if whatever it may be, it's pretty much can be considered an illusion. It's all a experience, and it's gone. That experience is over, and now you're in the present, right? And so don't hold on to those experiences that are setting you back and pushing you further back into a negative realm of reality, because that's lowering your vibration. In order to excel and one day to live in heaven and be truly alive in real time, you really have to let go of all these bondages that withhold in your mind that isn't even real. They're illusions. They're something that's alive only because you let it live within you. And you know, everything's a trip, and we're all on this trip together. But I know for me that I'm going to keep pushing through this. I'm going to keep weeding out those that are toxic to me. I'm going to keep striving for the greatness that I know that I'm capable of being. And I'm going to strive for teaching others to awaken to their true potential, and to really understand that everything is for our better good. Why are we living in earth with negative and positive? It's because we needed self-will. And it's our will to determine where we go from here. And it's all in the power of the mind. So, I'm going to come back on soon when I travel some more. And I'll probably come back on before that even, but I'm getting ready to be home right now. So, that's all for today. It's good talking to you guys.